Okay, welcome back to the NFL 2013 preview. I'm doing the last team that I said I was going to do from the NFC South. Probably will get to some more, but maybe. I still got a couple weeks left to do do some of the other teams. Um, but today I'm going to do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I've already done the rest of the teams in that division. Um, I just got finished. I, I watched the New England Tampa Bay game earlier. No, not really much stay. You can't put too much stock into preseason. No, preseason has a purpose. It's mainly to evaluate the depth of the team. For coaches and GMs to evaluate players, some of the younger guys, some of the veterans. Guys who are trying to make the roster. And that's pretty much the purpose of preseason. Not really to gauge who's better than another. Um, Mainly what I want to talk about is how I feel about this team. Like I said, it's a preview, it's all speculation. We never know what's gonna go down when the regular season starts. But I was gonna basically just give you my opinion on what I think about the team. Um, Tampa Bay, I believe they were 7-9 last season. Um, you know, Josh Freeman was a guy who showed flashes that he could really play. Um, but he was very inconsistent. Um, they have the running game. Um, hope let's see running game. They have Doug Martin, who was really good for them last year. Hopefully, a guy like Mike James or Peyton Hillis. Peyton Hillis a couple years ago was a really good player in Cleveland. He had the injuries. He went to the Chiefs. Played okay there as a second guy. Um, Hopefully, he can show even glimpses of what he was in Cleveland. Because they could really use that in the run game to help out. Josh Freeman, who they just can't, is a guy who they just can't sit back and constantly throw the ball with. Um, from watching the game earlier, like I said, you can't put too much stock into preseason. Um, they really struggled to protect any quarterback they put back there. I'm gonna mainly go with Josh Freeman because he was playing with the first team offensive line. They It was no Carl Nicks, so I think that having him could have definitely helped. But it was mainly the tackles. Chandler Jones and Ninkovich really, well, they were really in the limited time Josh Freeman was out there, he got a lot of pressure on him. Even when the backup came in, Mike Glennon for a couple snaps against the first team defense. They still had the first team offensive line out there. They struggled to protect even him. Um, Vincent Jackson didn't play. Kevin Ogletree, who's probably going to be the second guy for this team. They really need a standout second guy. Vincent Jackson had a pretty good year last year, so hopefully Kevin Ogletree, who was solid, who was solid for Dallas. Um, so hopefully he can come in and play. They have Mike Williams, Taquan Underwood. Um, Hopefully they can give Josh Freeman some help, um, give him some targets because the guy has the talent. It's just the consistency isn't there. Um, they're really looking forward to him stepping up. As, um, Defensively, of course Reeves did not play. Golson did not play. So those guys are two impact players on the defense. So really won't gauge the secondary from from what I saw. I can go with mainly like the front seven. The front seven. Against the run, they were pretty good. They didn't get pressure on Tom Brady when he was out there. They didn't get pressure on. They didn't get pressure on any of the quarterbacks. The first team defense really didn't get any pressure on any of the quarterbacks that were back there. But like I said, they were missing some guys, so you really can't put any stock into that. But if you're going by last year, Their run defense was really good. Uh, they were one of the best run defense actually. Um, a guy like Gerald McCoy was a beast. They got Daquan Bowers, Adrian Claiborne. I mean, they had the pieces in the front seven, to slow down the run game and possibly get pressure on the quarterback. You know, really the problem, which like I said, Golson or Reeves did not play. Really the problem with 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 the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is the secondary. They need guys in the secondary to step up. They got guys like, of course, Golson. They got Reeves, Leonard Johnson, Mark Barron. We got to see these guys are gonna have to step up and improve back in the secondary because I believe they were 32nd behind the Saints. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were definitely one of the worst. I believe the worst in football in terms of giving how many pass yards they gave up. It also contributed. It's not completely because they don't have the talent. A lot of it was play calling or blown coverages, giving up big plays. A lot of blitzes that effectively probably didn't work. Then they'll give up big play from that. So a lot of it wasn't just because the secondary, doesn't have the talent. Obviously, they're not as talented as they possibly can be now, but it wasn't because of the talent last year. So hopefully we'll see more out of the defense. Of course, Rondé Barber, who, I think is a Hall of Famer, was a guy that retired last year. I think he had a solid season, especially for his age. He was closing in on 40. He had a solid season. Like I said, I already mentioned the guys who they added to the team. With this team, it's all about Josh Freeman. Can he become consistent? Can he get outside of Vincent Jackson? Can he get another target? Kevin Ogletree, Mike Williams, Taquan Underwood. Can one of these other guys, get open on a consistent basis? We know Vincent Jackson can. Can some of these other guys get open? Doug Martin is a beast. Hopefully we see the same production out of him just like last year. They need some of these other guys to step up. Brian Leonard, Mike James, Peyton Hillis. They need some of these other guys to step up. They need to protect. Josh Freeman a little bit better. Hopefully they can. Also, I forgot to mention their tight end. Well, he's solid, but hopefully a guy like him can come in and contribute. And like I said, with the running backs, other than Doug Martin, can someone else step up? I believe they traded the running back last year, the backup running back last year to the Patriots. Sorry, his name escapes me, and I watched the damn game. Let's see. Okay, LeGarrette Blount. Yeah. They lost LeGarrette Blount, who a couple years ago was pretty good for them. Of course, they traded him away to the Patriots. So it's gonna be running back. Doug Martin's gonna be the main guy to carry. He has to take pressure off Josh Freeman. They have to have a running game because they don't protect Josh Freeman well enough. He's too inconsistent to sit back there and constantly throw the ball. So, what will we see out of the run game? What will we see out of Josh Freeman? And defensively, the front seven is pretty solid. That front four is really good. It's mainly the back end. How healthy will Reeves' knee be? How will Golson look outside of how Golson looked outside of the 49ers system. Um, Also, second year player Mark Barron, can he step up? Um, you know, has he matured a little bit more experience? Will he get better? Those are some of the questions, mainly with the secondary. Um, they had to limit the mistakes they were making last year. There's nowhere to go but up. I mean, you can't be no worse than last in terms of pass defense. So there's nowhere else to go but up, obviously. So I think they're going to be better um, in terms of defensively with the secondary. They're definitely not going to be last. I mean, just having a guy like Reeves on the field, changes a lot. You saw what he did with the Jets and how much he changed that defense. So, hopefully his knee is healthy enough. We'll have to see with that. I want to go through that schedule. Last season, as I said early on in the video, they were 7-9. Um, they were also tied with the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. My Carolina Panthers at 7-9. Will we see improvement? Will we see regression? You never know. But I'm gonna go through the regular season. I'm not gonna do preseason. And I'm gonna go each game. I'm just gonna call the games out, call the week out. Uh, week 1, Darrelle Reeves goes back to New York and plays the Jets. Week 2 is a division game against the Saints. Week 3 against the Patriots, a team they just played in the preseason. Hopefully some of the same struggles won't crop up in the game as it did in the preseason. Like I said, can't put too much stock into it, but the first team offense really did struggle against the Patriots. The Patriots' first team defense, so we'll have to wait and see that. They have the Cardinals. The Cardinals have questions of their own, so we'll have to see about that. Week 5 is the bye. Week 6 is the Eagles. Week 7, another divisional game in Atlanta. Week 8, they play my Panthers. Week 9, a very tough Seattle game. No, in Seattle. That going there is always tough. It's always tough going there. Week 10, the Dolphins. Week 11, at home. They're at home against the Falcons. Week 12, the Lions. Week 13, at Carolina. Week 14, at home against the Bills. Week 15 against the Niners. Week 16 against the Rams. Week 17 to finish off against the Saints. Based off looking at the schedule, they play the NFC West and they play the AFC. Play the AFC East. AFC East is very other outside of the Patriots. Another team has shown any promise. Maybe we'll see something out of the Dolphins. Maybe the Bills can find their quarterback, but other than that, NFC West is tough. You got a Rams team. We don't know what they expect. They're very well coached, so they can creep up on some teams. The Niners, we know they're good. The Seahawks, having to play in Seattle is gonna be tough. But that schedule, is not necessarily. It is pretty tough. Just from playing the NFC West, those NFC West teams. This team really struggled last year, and the schedule, some of these games, they have some very winnable games against the Eagles, against the Jets, the Bills, possibly the Rams, the Lions, but the Lions have improved. Against my Panthers, because somehow they always beat the Panthers, but we always play them tough. We play division teams tough. But I'm gonna end it with that. I think I pretty much said what the team need. Some of the question marks about the team, what they need to improve on. We never know will they improve on some of these things? We'll have to wait and see. Preseason won't tell enough because there's always guys that's going to sit out. Key impact guys that's going to sit out. So preseason won't tell enough. We'll have to wait till the regular season. Um, you know, around mid season, that's when you'll know what a team is really about. Let me know what you think in the comments. What do you expect out of Tampa Bay? Will the secondary improve? Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe.